There's been a lot going on with this P. Diddy case, and Jay-Z and Beyonce have been relatively quiet. That is to be expected, since Beyonce is the queen of NDAs. She's been attached to many NDAs since she married Jay-Z, maybe even before. I remember the first album I heard of Beyonce after she went solo. There were songs where she lamented about being with a serial cheater who had children, and she was finding out his secrets from his friends. If any of the songs on her solo album are anything like her real life, Beyonce knew what she was getting into with Jay-Z. She signed on the dotted line, so I don't feel sorry for her. There's been rumors of him for years liking young girls, sexually objectifying women, the infidelities, being physically abusive, and having multiple children, not including Beyonce's. If we can believe Beyonce's songs, she's a very insecure, jealous woman who refuses to move on from toxic relationships by becoming toxic herself. I once heard a story or two about a young Beyonce in Texas being boy crazy and sexually hyperactive. The way the story was painted, Beyonce might have been a Jezebel spirit from a very young age. I found the story believable. But what had me really thinking was a story that Beyonce told herself before she learned the art of PR. A story where her father almost got arrested for trying to beat up her boyfriend at age 13 because her sister called the cops on their father. Why did her sister call the cops? From Beyonce's mouth, the younger sister told their father that Beyonce and her boyfriend at age 13 were having sex, and the father became upset. It was an interesting story to tell the world. It was even more interesting that at 13, Beyonce needed a boyfriend or was doing something questionable enough to lead her younger sister to think that she was engaging in sexual activities at 13 years old. A young girl who is already sexually promiscuous would be the perfect candidate for a man who preys on young girls who might be willing to do anything it takes to be the center of attention. I remember shortly after Aaliyah dying, R. Kelly trying to work with or wanting to get into a romantic relationship with Beyonce through the guise of mentorship or a business relationship. He got upset when he was denied the opportunity. I was confused at the time why he was even linked to Beyonce or Destiny Child in the first place, especially since it was after his sex tapes came out. I was also confused why Destiny Child kept selling the Christian good girl act when they were also selling sex, dressing and behaving provocative in music videos. I saw a video of a former Sean Combs producer saying secular and Christian music is one and the same. Wasn't Katy Perry once a Christian singer? Wasn't Jessica Simpson's father pastor who was having gay affairs on his wife? I rest my case. Christianity has always been a front for devil worshippers and hypocrisy. Didn't slave owners and the KKK also consider themselves Christians? Aren't people in the entertainment industry using religion as a way to manipulate and brainwash the masses? Every award show, they thank God when they spend their career worshiping gods and idols. Let me not even speak about the Catholic religion. That would definitely throw me way off topic. Yes, Destiny Child was selling sexuality through their image while professing to be good Christian girls, confusing young girls around the world on what it means to be a Christian. Beyonce wearing very revealing clothes, showing her ass crack more than once. So yes, I believe Beyonce's younger sister when she ran to tell their father that 13-year-old Beyonce might have been having some type of sexual encounter with her boyfriend. Sometimes girls that have early sexual experiences find themselves being attracted to any and every gender. I don't know if Beyonce is bisexual, but with everything going on with P. Diddy, rumors about Jay-Z and Will Smith, I won't be surprised if Beyonce is bisexual. Some would say, what's wrong with that? That there's nothing wrong with being sexually attracted and active with both genders. I believe it's a form of a Jezebel spirit. without being preachy but stating the obvious. There was a suspicious encounter with Sanaa Lathan several years ago. Her Sasha Fierce album had a lot of coded songs that made me raise my eyebrows at the time. If we want to know Beyonce views on freak offs, we might find clues in that album. There's one music video where she's walking around dressed in a tailor suit, looking into different sex rooms as if she's a madame, orchestrating everything happening in the rooms as well as participating. It reminds me of the Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion video where they did the same thing. And I feel like it's a reoccurring theme that happens in some music videos where women are peering into sex rooms to see the acts that is going on, a form of brainwashing, and also throwing out symbols of these freak offs. A lot of her songs talk about her sexuality, which there's nothing wrong with. However, knowing what we now know of Sean Puffy Combs, we can no longer call Beyonce innocent of not knowing his conduct because she's been in his premises for a very long time. And her husband has done a lot of business deals with Combs, so there's no way they're not privy to what Combs is doing. The question now is how much she knew, how much did she participate, and how many people did she groom herself? Is Beyonce a handler, a Jezebel spirit, or both? I know Jay-Z and Beyonce are currently threatening people who make videos about them on social media. I thought I would make this video in response, seeing how I have nothing to lose. I've never been a fan of Beyonce or Jay-Z, but I enjoy some of her work without liking her as a person or artist, even though she's known to steal from other artists, another quality of a Jezebel spirit. Who's to say thieves are not also willing to kill and destroy? Where does she draw the line? Where are her boundaries? Does she even have any? I don't consider Beyonce a trustworthy artist. That is why it's hard to market herself outside of music. Her relationship with P. Diddy and Jay-Z has kind of reduced her value. If you take away music, what is Beyonce worth? She's not marketable without music, maybe by design, so that she would always have to rely on Jay-Z now that Diddy is locked up. She came out with a hair care brand. Is anyone still talking about it? People will always use Fenty Beauty. What company of Beyonce has lasted? None, because Beyonce has sold herself to the devil, and when you do that, you no longer own yourself. I am not a Christian, but I believe in God and spirituality. What I now know of Christianity, yes, it's possible that Beyonce is a Christian, because being religious has nothing to do with God with a capital G and everything to do with gods and idol. All religions worship idols, so it would make sense that a person who considers herself a Christian practices witchcraft. It goes hand in hand. Religion and worshiping idols tell as old as time. In conclusion, if Beyonce is a Jezebel spirit and willingly knew about P. Diddy's debauchery, she should pay for her crimes as an accomplice as well. I don't care how good her music or toot-stepping is. It's ironic that her parents refused R. Kelly's request to buy her, only to turn around to sell her to a demon just as bad, if not worse, casting spell on her fans through music. Yes, music is used as a form of mind control. That is why people like R. Kelly were able to get away with what he did for so long, why Diddy was able to continue what he was doing even after R. Kelly was exposed and put in prison. Now we're just waiting for Jay-Z and Will Smith to be exposed, taking the whole industry down with them, lock them all up, and throw away the key. At this point, I don't think there's hope for redemption.